Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And when you touch down, you'll find that it's stranger than known. Happy birthday above us. David Crosby would have been 75 today. He's gone. Passed back in early 2023, but he was a songwriter. He was a folk singer. He was the guy, he did most of his work on all sorts of different substances. Maybe the reincarnation of David Crosby would be the best thing for Jacksonville's offensive line. Get them together with David, go on out, have a huge beef and beer party, and then just return and get after it. Because right now, oh boy, I just don't know what to make. And I think the tackle play is best, but the interior, that is a problem right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Day 1 with Tampa, day 16 overall, no place I'd rather be than the Miller Electric Center. Very spirited day, no fighting. It was one of my favorite lines in Caddyshack, right? When Lou pulls over with the punk-ass caddy, says, what does that say? I think it's no trash on the floor, no blood on the floor, or whatever it is. And he goes, no fighting. But we didn't see anything today. Almost respectable one-on-one, some gamemanship, some professionalism. Frankly, I'd like to see a little something maybe tomorrow. No one gets hurt. No one gets hurt in a football fight, right? It's going to be a scrum. It's going to be guys grabbing one another, pushing one another, maybe ripping off a helmet. I think it would be good if it happened. But apparently they've been threatened financially. We saw the massive fines a week ago, and I just find it hard to get after one another for 2 consecutive days and not have an issue. Again, I'm not like a huge advocate of it. I don't watch NASCAR for the crashes. We'll be honest, I don't watch NASCAR, period. I just don't anymore. I don't watch hockey for the fights, okay? But I think a camp scrum could perhaps be healthy, especially for this offensive line that again, their manhood is really being tested. Not Anton Harrison. Anton Harrison looks fantastic. He continues to dominate his one-on-one battles. He did okay in, I say okay. I think if you were to find a problem with Anton Harrison right now, it would be his run blocking, right? His pass blocking appears to be very good. I want to say he went, the last 8-9 games of the year, not allowing a sack. He was learning on the fly. I'll just say it right now. Anton Harrison should be your starting left tackle. He's their best player, far and away. And they've Mickey Mouse their way around left tackle with Cam Ness, treating Walker Little about as poorly as anyone could ever treat a draft pick, trying to force him to be a right tackle, sliding him into guard. So what you have right now is 3 left tackles, okay? 22 of the 23 starts for Anton Harrison in college were on the left side. I think he's your starting left tackle in 2025, which means he's going to have to relearn that position after playing this year and, of course, last year. But we'll get to the offensive line in just a little bit. I don't want to start on a negative because it was a good day. Jacksonville today did some really good things. And what sticks out more than anything is their offense. A really good day for Trevor Lawrence. Threw a ton of touchdowns today. I think he had 4, including, I think 4 overall, but many more on the ground, particularly in red zone. Okay, Tank Bigsby is running like a madman. Tank Bigsby is running angry. And I think it's time now for 2 reasons. To see Tank get at-bats with the number one offense. The main reason is I don't want Travis Etienne getting hit anymore, okay? I mean, why even chance it? There's nothing there. There's no holes. The interior offensive line, it's like running into a brick wall. You saw nothing on Saturday night when it came to running the ball against Kansas City, and you saw nothing today. John Shipley reports that 7 carries today by Travis Etienne went for 2 yards or less. They can't run the ball, okay? They just can't do it. And if so, they're going outside the tackles. It's more than alarming. It's a problem right now with this organization. And all we've heard is more Tank. Tank's getting the job done. He's getting it done with the second team. Why not promote him? I'm not saying he is the starter over Travis Etienne. Hear me out. I'm saying Etienne's just getting beaten up. Etienne's worked hard every day in camp. He's healthy. He's in shape. He knows the offense. Bubble wrap this guy until you go to Miami on opening day. See what else you have. Give Tank some live bullets with the number one offense. See if he's a guy that can find a tiny, tiny little morsel in the interior offensive line. Best runs he's had, including today, is when he breaks outside. And he had 3 red zone touchdowns. He had another run earlier where he barreled over a defensive player. Tank Bigsby right now is doing some very impressive things. I would love for that to happen tomorrow. And again, it's not a deal where it's a demotion for Travis Etienne. Not even close. We saw what Etienne can do when he is involved in the passing game. He caught the 9-yard touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence on Saturday night. I don't want to put him out there taking any more hits. I mean, Christian Kirk didn't work today. We were not told why he was out. The Jaguars are always very transparent. We're just going to have to wait a day to get the information on Christian Kirk. But the way I look at it, it's kind of like, in a way, good. You know, Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne. You know what these guys can do. I don't need them out there working with the first team consistently. And I've always been an every snap count guy. I have always been that way. Okay? I want my first string with my first string. There's nothing worse than in college football than when you have a quarterback competition because you have both QBs working with the first team. And it always feels like no matter where the battle is happening, the coach waits to the last possible second to announce who your starter is, where you're missing major opportunities with those reps. I've always felt that way, but I think you have to make exceptions once in a while. And I would with Kirk, who got it today. And I would with Etienne, and I would with Evan Ingram. Just my personal opinion on this. Brian Thomas Jr., he's really growing up right in front of your eyes. Okay? He looks like a different wide receiver. Confidence up. His awareness is obvious. Okay? I don't want to say he looked lost early on, but let's face it, his start was about as bad as you could ask for because it was that very first pass where he had an opportunity to come down with the ball in the back of the end zone. He dropped it. And I think a lot of fans remember that. Then the next day he dropped another one. And, you know, number one wide receivers, you got to make those grabs. And he struggled early on. And I thought it was a very good explanation that was given to us at the time by offensive coordinator Press Taylor, who reminded everyone that the majority of the stuff we were seeing at that time, it was more than the majority. It was almost it all, right? Was red zone offense. And maybe he's not the greatest red zone wide receiver. He played well today in the red zone, but I think you're getting the complete package with Brian Thomas Jr. You want to see him stretch defenses. And what was it, last week? It might have been 10 days ago. Again, everything kind of runs together during camp. But we saw phenomenal athleticism by him on a simple screen. We saw him go up. I think it was Ronald Darby in a one-on-one drill. And Darby's had a spectacular camp. Darby made a really big play today. Tyson Campbell did as well. Tyson Campbell on Mike Evans today. A really good play by Jacksonville's corner. I'll get to the defense in just a little bit. And I will preface it by saying this. You can't watch everything. The way that it is working with both fields, it's impossible to watch what's happening because they're doing so many different things at one time. Today, my focus for the most part was on the Jaguars' offense. Tomorrow, I'd like to get to the other side and spend much more with the Jaguars' defense. Dave Campbell's going to join us tomorrow night. There's no doubt he's with the defense, and that's why I'm going to bring him on tomorrow night's program to get his opinion on these two practices with Tampa Bay. But back to what I'm talking about with Brian Thomas Jr., it was a one-on-one opportunity where he showed his ups, and he showed the strength with his hands. In a contested ball, he just went up and got it. He continues to get better. You saw the long ball from C.J. Beathard on Saturday night. Today, he caught a touchdown. And there was nearly two. There was one where Trevor just barely overthrew Thomas Jr. I'm guessing 40, 45, 50 yards in the air. Okay? Almost 6. Later in the practice, he did hit him, and he was wide open. He had 5 yards or so on the defensive back. Let me see. I wrote it down. I'm trying to remember who the DB was in there for Tampa at the time. It was it Murray? No, it was the rookie. No, it was not Funderburk. I think it was Merriweather. Let me double-check that during the very first break. But, hey, listen, there's a lot of Pro Bowlers on that defense, right? Including Vita Vea, who's just a beast. He's unblockable. And really created some havoc today with Jacksonville. So I think it was a good day for the Jags. The offensive line during one-on-one, I thought both tackles really showed out. Anton Harrison, in my opinion, is head and shoulders above the other 4 offensive linemen. Okay? You just got to keep him healthy. He's quick. And, I was watching with a couple of guys. Leon Searcy was there observing it, talked to him a little bit. Baselli was there. So you had, 2 former offensive linemen there. It felt like most were on the other side of the field watching some other things because they was working with the offense at the time, the passing offense and the receivers and what have you. I just wanted to get a little bit of a feel. I thought Cam Robinson had a good day. Again, I think Cam in this camp has won his battles against Trayvon Walker. Okay? I think he has had the edge there. Anton Harrison today was absolutely phenomenal. Mitch Morse, oh boy, that was not good. Vita Vea took him at one point and just drove him back like Mitch Morse was on ice skates. Morse did improve in his second rep, and I think that would come down to the scorecard. I think that would come down to the judges as to whether or not Morse won the rep, Vea won the rep, or if it was somewhere in the middle. He is that good, Vita Vea. He is an absolute monster. So you have to take that into consideration. Ezra Cleveland, it has not been great so far. Brandon Sheriff, I thought, had a pretty good afternoon in one-on-ones. But when you got out on the field, it totally changed. Okay, and that is what is really frightening. John Shipley today, I don't number it. I don't grade. I don't do any statistics during practice. I just don't. Shipley does. He had Trevor Lawrence getting sacked 6 times during 11-on-11. 1 time during the 7-on-7. The much talked about touchdown pass that I just spent a minute or so on, the bomb from Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas Jr., that never would have happened if this was a real game, because Trevor Lawrence would have been sacked. Again, 7 sacks. This is according to Sports Illustrated's John Shipley. Does a fine job covering things for the Jaguars. And on top of that, the rushing offense is worse. Consider what I just said to you. 7 sacks Trevor Lawrence took today. The rushing offense is worse. You got a huge problem right now in Duval. It's your interior offensive line. And I don't know what they're going to do. I hope I'm wrong. I've been yelling about this forever. Okay, they walked this thing back. I didn't see it. I still don't see it. I'm one of those who believes Mitch Morse has been in this league for 9 years. He's creative enough. He's savvy enough. He's a professional. He's going to find a way to make this thing turn around. He told Jaguars.com recently that it takes a game or two until you really know what the guy next to you is doing. And I heard it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? They walked back 4/5 of the offensive line. They still don't know what they're doing. Oh, they were all hurt. Yeah, well, they've all been hurt in camp. I mean, it's and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you, okay? You can't put Walker Little at guard. He's not a guard. Blake Hance is working first-team left guard with Ezra Cleveland. Blake Hance, no. You know, Cooper Hodges gets all this love. He's from Baker County. He does cartwheels. I mean, we don't know if he can play. He's a 7th-round pick. The kid gets hurt walking around the practice field. He's been in the hot tub his first year in a few months. I got people every day saying, what about Cooper? What about Cooper? You're talking about a late-round pick who's been injured. You just spent $275 million on a quarterback. You better be able to protect him. So every team has problems. They're yelling right now in Tampa. They think they got whipped today. Maybe that's the way it is for all 32 teams. Thank God you get this opportunity to practice against another NFL team, to really see where you are. And again, tomorrow I'm going to focus on defense. But the offense, the special, the skill guys are there. I think your tackles are there. I think you're fine at tight end. I think Tank needs more of an opportunity as a running back. But your interior offensive line, I don't have anything for you. I have nothing for you at this point. And I hope that changes as early as tomorrow. You know what the best part of today is that I can say? Because imagine if it had been different. Trevor Lawrence didn't turn the ball over. Trevor Lawrence didn't throw an interception today. Can you imagine if he threw a couple of INTs? What the reaction would have been. He was clean today with that. And here's the one problem as well as I head to this break. And this is perhaps the only problem with practicing against another team like this. They'll study the film. If these numbers are accurate, and he got sacked 7 times, well, he got sacked on Saturday night on 4th down. Isn't that a continuous problem when it comes to, hey, you must learn when you can get rid of the ball? It's almost like being in a batting cage and getting a 70-mile-an-hour middle-in fastball that you know you can take over the wall. Well, what are you going to do when all of a sudden it's game time and it's 95 miles an hour and it's moving? Trevor Lawrence today throws the bomb to Brian Thomas Jr., and people are like, this is great. And you should be excited about it. But realistically, he would have been sacked. And that's where it becomes alarming. Opening comments tonight and every night brought to you by Shmunez Vision. It's a good thing my eyes are 20/20. I'm able to locate everything that's happening out on the Miller Electric Center. It's a family organization. They focus on personal, high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Any issue you may have, you may push it off and say, well, I think it's just an allergy. Yeah, my eyes, there's redness, there's spotting. I notice at night they're nowhere near as effective as they are when I get up and take the kids to school or whatever it may be. Stop with the delay. Make an appointment today. Just go to Shmunez Vision. Check them out on Instagram. Get all the testimonials at Shmunez Vision. Your opportunity to put yourself in a situation where you're always going to have perfect eyesight. That includes laser eye surgery, along with Catherine Shmunez. Dr. Catherine, more than 30 years worth of experience. Again, go to Shmunez Vision for all of the details. That is Shmunez Vision. When we come back, let's bring in J.J. LaSelva. Let's hear from Ryan Nielsen. Caught up with Jordan Jefferson today. He's been on the shelf for a little bit, trying to get healthy, but don't kid yourself. He is going to be a part of this rotation for years to come. Maybe not so much right now, but certainly for years to come, or at least that is the thinking. John Osher as well will join us coming up in about 35 minutes from Jaguars.com. He'll give us the very latest after day one, the Jaguars and the Buccaneers and their practice at the Miller Electric Center.
Jaguars football lives here.
Listen, we sticking together.
1010XL.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need any special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Roof damage? Call before you claim. Green Law Group, fighting insurance companies for you. They will work for you when you have roof damage. Don't let your insurance deny you. Don't call an adjuster. Call Green Law Group at 904-302-7055. Remember, if you have roof damage, call Green Law Group before you claim. They've settled millions and will work hard to get your claim and new roof. Green Law Group. Call before you claim. 904-302-7055.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari, at Bari Orthopedics.
We will be perfect.
Training camp.
You drop a pass, you run a mile.
Nobody covers camp like 1010XL. Get daily training camp coverage brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Perfection
On 1010XL.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Good people drink good beer.
And great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect fare for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're in pain and you think you've tried everything, I've got a solution for you. The team at Active Health Jax treats the source of the problem, not just the pain, so you can avoid surgery, cortisone injections, and pain medications. I've had neck aches for years, and I've tried everything from acupunctures to massages with no results. Within minutes of my evaluation and treatment, the tension was gone. It was amazing. Active Health Jax can help you too. Give them a call at 904-296-0202 today or visit them online at activehealthjax.com.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Hacker here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends, cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But you say, Hack, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing over 85 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping the first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it, and you'll be saying it too in just a few weeks. 20-pound summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
David Crosby began with the Birds. That's BYRDS. Before forming Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Of course, Buffalo Springfield had Stephen Stills and Neil Young, and it was the Hollies who had Graham Nash. So, all in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And how can you have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame without the Birds? Tonight's show and every night is brought to you by Thermal Engineers right here in Jacksonville. What a phenomenal company. And listen to what they have. Okay? For starters, they've been around for more than 20 years. They're a commercial HVAC contractor right here along the First Coast in North Florida. And if you are a qualified technician or installer and you're just looking for better, you're just looking for more money, you're looking for a better company, you're looking for better benefits, well, go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. It's as simple as that. Top pay, okay? That's what they're offering. Not competitive pay, top pay. 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Thermal Engineers, Inc., 230-1172, an equal opportunity employer. Thermal Engineers, Inc. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. and get all of your details. JJ LaSelva is with us. Midweek, mid-month, middle of August. Is this real? Is it really the middle of August?
It's flying by. But it's still we still have 4 months of hot weather left. It's not even close to being done, folks.
It was hot today out there at the Miller Electric Center. Not as bad as Monday, though. That was the worst.
Yeah, 12:30 p.m. practice is a form of terrorism, I would say, in some circles. That sounded terrible.
Mm-hmm. What do you? I understand that you're here and you're working, but the direction of this franchise and all of the positive things they have done and all of the positive things that I have said, the one Achilles heel continues for me to be the offensive line. It's not a great sample size, but early Saturday night and again today, JJ, whether it's pass protection or running the football, this offensive line is struggling.
And you saw this coming. I mean, most Jaguars fans did. They decided to run it back with the same crew, just with a new center. Unfortunately, it sounds like the new center is not doing too much different than Luke Fortner. So, I'm not out there. I don't get to see what's happening. But although I will say Vita Vea is just an absolute animal. Mm-hmm. But I'm assuming it was a lot more than just him that was giving the Jags problems today.
Yeah. It's a really good defense. I mean, you have 3 or 4 Pro Bowlers on that defense. They have a couple of good edge rushers. They have one of the better linebackers, and Levante David in the NFL. They got a very good secondary, including Anton Winfield. This defense is legit, and they have a defensive-minded coach. There's no doubt about that. I think right now, running the football, I feel confident that this organization can pass the ball, okay? And I think even with all of the questions about who's calling plays and what is happening, you hate to, in a way, show a little something the way they did on Saturday night, but that pass to Travis Etienne is only going to get better. He is becoming such a valuable part of this football team as a pass receiver. You already know what he can do when it comes to running the football. And, just look at what he did in consecutive years. He went from 35 receptions to 58. Okay, and I think he's going to go north of 58 this year, even though early on in camp, Brian Thomas Jr. has really stepped up his play. Gabe Davis began today with a couple of receptions, kind of went quiet after the fact. When they started working in group work, 2 out of the first 3 passes that Trevor completed today was to Gabe Davis. And again, what I liked was his route tree. Okay, and I don't know if it's been printed or said, even though everyone's out there filming and whatever. At this point, you're not allowed to film. I'm not going to give you the routes. I'm just not going to do it, okay? If a guy scores on a bomb, well, that's one thing. If a guy scores, but when you're doing different routes, I got to respect the Jaguars process, the PR department, all right, because they're that good over there. That I'm never going to go against that. But just, I think that this is a new dimension with Zay Jones. He's got an ability to, with Gabe Davis, not Zay Jones. He's got the ability to go over the middle, and he's not afraid to go over the middle. He's a big body. Now, a guy, if you look at him, you may assume, going over the middle is not what he would want to do. Is Parker Washington. Dead wrong. He's going over the middle. He got a lot of at-bats today. I think he caught 4 balls early. He did drop 1, which is, I think it's the only one I've seen him drop in camp. Parker Washington has had a very, very good training camp. But again, Christian Kirk didn't practice today. We were not told why. We'll have that for you tomorrow. So to see now Washington get a ton of burn in the slot, where if you watched the game on Saturday night, you saw that he's lining out on the edge. So now you're fourth wide receiver. And I've said all along, I think he is the fourth guy. Okay? Devin Duvernay's, there's intrigue, and he's better than Agnew. Okay? They're going to be able to do some things with him, but I think you have to rely on him as your in-game return guy, your punt returner, and hopefully the guy with his new absurd kickoff rules, whatever the hell they're doing, that he's going to get the majority of those kick returns. I think Parker Washington is putting himself in a position, whether it's Kirk at slot or it's Brian Thomas or Gabe Davis on the outside, that Washington becomes your fourth guy in. I tell you who else, maybe the play of the day, Brandon Cooks is really picked up his game this last week, and it almost feels like to me they're going to keep 7 wide receivers. I think that's where I would go now, and I haven't done a 53 yet. Maybe I will. Boy, this is one of the hardest years. If you were to get $1,000 for all 53, I mean, when you get down to it, I think if you get 47, 48, 49, that's pretty good. There's going to be some decisions that are made here, and I kind of want to spend a few minutes without talking about the offensive line, but especially there. All right, right now, in my opinion, and I understand what you're thinking, that if they were good, why are they out there? But my way of looking at this right now has always been maybe a veteran pass rush end that they would add after cuts, maybe a safety after cuts. Well, we've seen what they've done there in the last week with Amos and the return of Gibson. So they've already addressed that. I think right now the thing that really sticks out is, can you find an offensive lineman? If all of a sudden this has to become some sort of a patchwork, particularly an interior offensive line at some point. So maybe there is a surprise cut coming. Just throwing that out there. We shall see. But, yeah, Parker Washington really is taking advantage, and that is so promising. And you, and I say you, because I listen to you. When I'm not talking, all right, I'm listening. And I listen. Now, listen when you get to me, especially on the text line at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You're down on Parker, but you didn't get down on him the way you got down on Tank and Strange, and for the obvious reasons. That was your 3rd and 2nd round pick, respectively, where Parker Washington came in the 6th round. But Parker Washington also made some rookie mistakes last year. I'm telling you, this kid can play. He absolutely can. And he has had a good practice, went out and did that a little bit earlier today. All right, let me come back. Let's get to the defense a little bit. Let's get to that side of the ball. Kind of gave you my disclaimer. There's only so much that you can do. I feel a little as though I have lied to you, because I told you forever that my emphasis this year is on Ryan Nielsen and this defense. And I just happened to be more intrigued by the offense, because I can't get away from what I think is the biggest problem with the team, and that is the offensive line. Again, I thought they got off to a good start on individual drills during one-on-one. I thought they were doing a nice job. Then it just really bottomed out on them once they got the teamwork. But tomorrow I'm absolutely going to do the other side of it, go to the other field and watch the Jaguars' first-team defense against Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay's first-team offense. Dave Campo will also join us tomorrow night. Dave Campo spent his time today watching this defense, so that is a part of it as well. So much more to do. We do tonight up until 8 o'clock. If you'd like to get on in, you can. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. We'll also hear from one of the newest members of the Jaguars. Spent a couple of minutes today after practice with Jordan Jefferson, defensive lineman out of LSU.
Frank Frangie here. Ready to experience used euphoria? You can with Car Bravo at Nimnicht Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealer. Buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. With Car Bravo, Nimnicht Buick GMC can certify all makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. With promotional rates as low as 2.9% APR, now is the time to shop certified used vehicles at Nimnicht Buick GMC. Who gives you top dollar for your trade? Nobody but Nimnicht. Shop online at Nimnicht Buick GMC. GMC, we are professional grade.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Feeling the heat, Jacksonville? Cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Family-owned and trusted since 2016, we offer clear pricing, NATE-certified techs, and unbeatable service. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference. Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Bold City AC. Visit boldcityac.com.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation and drainage too.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen & Sullivan.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 14, 2016, Jamaican sprint star Usain Bolt wins a 100-meter gold medal at the Rio Olympics, becoming the first man to win the event 3 times.
Calling all fans of Duval to downtown Las Vegas during the game against the Silver and Black. This is Lauren Brooks from Helmets and Heels. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this December for the Jacksonville Game Day Getaway, featuring an incredible all-in package. Get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available until August 30th, so act now. To book and to join the Heels in Vegas, visit circalasvegas.com today.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. we can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We can get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we can take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Tank Bigsby is a player the Jaguars would love to see take their game to the next level this season. After a rough transition to the NFL in his rookie year last year, offensive coordinator Press Taylor believes Bigsby is showing he can take charge of an RB2 role.
I think it's just a continuation of the development we've seen from him and what we expected. As he got into training camp, he runs hard. He's very physical. Tank is an appropriate name for him. So I think he's just continued to grow and develop, and you see that confidence, just like all these second-year players. They look like different players. They're the same guy, but things slow down. They're confident in the system. They're confident in the things they're asked to do.
Stick around right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM for game coverage beginning at 7:30 when the Jaguars take on the Buccaneers Saturday night. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Day 2 tomorrow with Tampa Bay. They'll rest Friday. They'll play at 7:30. Coming up on Saturday night, 2 straight at home. So that is good news for Jaguar fans. Let me see. I think they pushed up practice compared to today, like an hour or so. Let's see. Thursday, 9:30 to 11:55. Okay. So same start time today. They went to 12:05. 10 minutes shorter tomorrow. Doug Peterson will be available before practice, so we'll get our information on Christian Kirk. The best news for Jacksonville is that they're healthy. All right. Today was the return of Foye Oluokun, who missed time this week, didn't practice at all yesterday. I'm trying to remember if he worked a little. I don't think he worked on Monday either. He's had a tight hamstring. I watched him today doing some individual stuff. Again, I don't have any team activity to report today for the most part on the Jaguars, outside of a couple of specific plays that did happen because I was watching Jacksonville's offense on the other field. That'll change tomorrow. Again, we'll find out about Christian Kirk tomorrow. He didn't go today. That was basically it. I mean, Deshaun Gibson, no teamwork. They're bringing him along slowly. As we know, for 6 weeks, he won't be allowed in the building. He will have to serve his suspension, and he will do so away from the friendly confines. The same thing happened a year ago with Cam Robinson, albeit it was 4 games. Eric Armstead spoke to us after. As a matter of fact, before I get to the Jordan Jefferson interview, let's see if we can do that, JJ. Let's play Ryan Nielsen, because this is really important. I do ask Jordan Jefferson coming up here in a minute about the addition of Eric Armstead and what he does mean. There's been all this praise, deservedly so, for a 9-year veteran, a guy who's been a Pro Bowler, a guy who's played in the Super Bowl, but we still haven't seen him do anything yet as he continuously battles his way back from the meniscus tear. Today, Ryan Nielsen was asked about the pass rush element of Eric Armstead.
Yeah, so he's been here since, he came here in the offseason, and so we spent a lot of time together, just kind of in and out. You have breakfast or lunch, you see him around the building. Awesome guy, football guy. He's a really good person, really into it. Helps the players a lot. 10-year career, a lot of success, a couple of Super Bowls that he's gone to, and so you get that whole experience. It's invaluable. Looking forward to getting him back, get him through some walkthroughs and things like that. But he's been all locked in. Couldn't say enough good things about him, really.
I think guys would like to play for Ryan Nielsen. He just sounds the part. He really does. And obviously, if Eric Armstead can come in and give Jacksonville what they're planning on, it's going to be a massive addition. Everything I hear about Ryan Nielsen is so positive, and he's so hands-on. He doesn't sit back and observe. He is involved in every drill, everything that happens. I really like Todd Wash, personally. Todd was a super guy, still is a super guy. And enjoyed conversations with him off the football field about just whatever it was. I did not know Mike Caldwell. I didn't travel with the team when Mike was here. I just had a somewhat of a, I guess you could call it a professional relationship. Didn't know him. Okay. Ryan Nielsen. I think that this really has some massive intrigue here. I think this name is going to blow up. And if Jacksonville gets this job done defensively, who knows what the future is going to end up being. I mean, on the other side, it kind of felt like Press Taylor was said, hey, there's your future head coach in waiting, and there's been questions, but I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. Certainly with Ryan Nielsen, though, it feels like this guy is a difference maker. Let's give you a couple of minutes here with Jordan Jefferson, born right here in our state, Navarre. 3-star, went to West Virginia, didn't do much there, then went over to LSU for his final season. He ended up becoming the 116th pick in this year's draft. He went in the 4th round. I spent a few minutes with him, the defensive tackle, after today's practice. Here with Jaguars draft pick, Jordan Jefferson. Day one with Tampa Bay. How different were things out there today?
It wasn't really different at all. Coach always says it's not about other teams, it's about us. So we just came out and made sure that we got better today. And we just happen to have another team on the field with us.
It feels like LSU South here. You yourself, Thomas Jr., obviously Mason Smith, Coach Matt House. What's it been like your first, let's say, month here in Jacksonville?
It's been good. I've been loving it, just already having that connection with those guys and seeing those guys every day and just seeing where we started at, when we were younger than to now. It's a blessing to be able to share the field with those guys.
How frustrating has it been with the setback of not being 100% with the lower body injury?
It's all mental. I'm getting better. Getting better every day, a lot better than what it was. So, we still striving to be better.
Eric Armstead is here, taking off the pup yesterday. If you had an opportunity really to sit back and listen to him, what he's done in his career, and how that would have an impression on you as a rookie.
Oh, yeah. We talk all the time. Just hearing the stories on how he matured and the Super Bowls he'd been to, how he got there, how the team was, things like that. Just everything that he's brought to the game. It's been special just having that older guy in the room, just to teach us and show us the ropes.
Ryan Nielsen, I've never seen anything like this as far as a defensive coordinator and his ability to substitute and just do different things consistently for all 11 of you guys. What's your early impression of him?
Coach Nielsen's a great coach. I thank him, for the opportunity, for drafting me, him and Coach Peterson and all the guys. But Coach Nielsen is really one of the best in the game, if not the best, So, I love what he does and how he teaches us and the hard coaching because, at the end of the day, he has our best interest.
Really deep. Have you seen anything like this before? I'm trying to think of your career at LSU where you got 8-9 guys that can really rotate in the interior defensive line. What's it like to be a part of that?
It's special. Anytime you find a group of guys to where you can roll in like that every game and different play sets and it's not a drop-off, that's really special. That's a really special thing to have. And in my opinion, I think it starts up front. So if you got guys like that you can rotate consistently and there's no drop-off and it's still production, we're in for something special.
Thanks for a few minutes of your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jordan Jefferson, 4th-round selection. Again, he's been hampered with a lower body injury early and now, midway through training camp. Okay, coming up, John Osher, he's going to be in the 7 o'clock hour, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Getting a lot from you And as always, we do appreciate it. The best way to get into the show, text 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
It sure is great living in the golf capital of the world.
Geez, you love this golf stuff, huh?
Oh, yeah. 1010XL.
Hey, so where do we tee off?
Jacksonville's golf station. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and there's nothing quite like the ease and breeze of First Coast summers. Unless, that is, you have a clogged drain or your hot water heater doesn't work. But that's where the experts at Fenwick Home Services have you covered. Fenwick offers 24/7 same-day service and can fix any plumbing problem you have. With free same-day estimates and guaranteed repairs, the pros at Fenwick Home Services get the job done right and get it done right the first time. You can also save on future emergencies with $50 off any repair. Click it or call day or night. FenwickHomeservices.com.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the major games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. Bet anywhere, win here. Only at Best Bet.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors, and with great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? How about scheduling a free consultation or just stop by the Pella showroom right there on Phillips Highway next to Tesla? Pella's professional consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. From simple projects to complex renovations, their team has the experience needed to make your project a success. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Duval. Your Jaguars are back for another preseason matchup as we take on our neighbors to the west, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meet us at the bank Saturday, August 17th for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. This is your last chance to see the Jags before the regular season kicks off. So lock in your tickets today by calling 904-633-2000 or online at jaguars.com/tickets.
It all comes down to Daytona and the Coke Zero Sugar 400 race weekend, August 23rd and 24th. For your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 24th, answer this question. Who won last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who won last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
All right, this just in. Matthew Judon moved from New England to Atlanta. The 4-time Pro Bowler goes to the Falcons for a 3rd-round pick. So that rolled in moments ago. There's some happy guys around the NFL. Brandon Ayuk has been a subject of trade rumors for quite some time in San Francisco. You got Hassan Reddick, who wants out, among others. So maybe some more activity coming, perhaps this week or as we get closer to the start of the regular season. John Osher, each and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Hi, John.
Rick, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Let's go back before we dive into today. What I didn't even see this anywhere, under the radar, whatever you want to say. The bringing back of Deshaun Gibson. Your thoughts there, and what do you think this means in 6 weeks in the NFL?
Well, I'm not sure it means that much, except for this. Bringing back Deshaun gives you sort of guaranteed depth starting in about October or maybe early November, depending on what 6 weeks is, probably early November. And what I mean is he's not going to get hurt in those first 6 games. You have injuries, so it's safeguarding against, at some point, if you have an injury in those first 6 games, you've got sort of a turnkey veteran ready to come in, and you don't have to worry about it. You also don't have to pay him for the first 6 games. So it's almost like having, and I forget who said this the other day, but it's almost like having a 54th person on the roster.
Right.
Without burning that during the season. I mean, during the first part of the season. So I think clearly Deshaun can play. He's a veteran. They've clearly been trying to bring in veterans. I mean, they brought in an incredible amount of experience in Armstead, Morse, and Darby. So he's one more guy who's been there, done that, so to speak. So I don't, and I think if any position is on paper not incredibly deep in terms of name guy, maybe it's that one. You've got Savage who looks fine. You've got Antonio Johnson and Cisco. Then Dewey's out, but he should be back around the same time. Beyond that, there's guys who've played well, but I don't know that it's guys who have just locked down roster spots yet. So I think it's really just they're always looking to be a little better than they were, and he's an affordable way to sort of ensure you have some depth.
I thought on Saturday night some guys really impressed. Some guys who are are part of the depth on this team impressed. What do you believe their feeling is now on safety Terrell Edmonds?
I don't have that much of a vibe. Probably he's not a guy who's been on my radar. Played well the other night, and probably, has a chance to make it based on the way he's playing. But, I know it's bad radio to say I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite sure on that one because I haven't given it that much thought.
Yeah.
Probably not fair to him that I haven't, because he just sort of flashed on the radar the other night. Again, it is a position where they're going to play a lot of guys in a lot of different formats, meaning a lot of different looks. So Dewey being out first 5 or 6 games probably opens the door for a guy that you weren't thinking about.
Yeah. And that's why I asked you, because even as much as Dewey's revered around here, he's really good against the run, but he's a great special teamer. Daniel Thomas is a gunner. He's a special teamer. It feels like they're 4 deep now at corner and maybe 5 deep at corner. And if that's the case, does Savage possibly become part of a 3-man rotation with Cisco and Johnson at safety? And maybe it is a guy that we don't know a whole heck of a lot about who becomes that other safety. That's why I mentioned Terrell Edmonds.
Yeah, I think that is a again, you analyze the roster, and there's always some blind spots. That's probably a spot that's been blind for people because we just haven't known what roles they're going to be putting guys in.
Mm-hmm.
I've always sort of thought of Savage as probably more of a nickel. When they call him a nickel, I think it's more nickel safety with some corner look than he is a pure corner. So, yeah, I could see week 1 it being Savage, Johnson, Cisco, getting Dewey through on the roster on the 53, and then putting him on IR short term, because you have to get him through the 53. You can't put him on IR. He's out for the season. So I could see them doing some roster machination. Edmonds might be a guy that you could release for a day, bring back more than you could Wingard. I'm getting kind of football 101 there, too much, but I think you could probably do something like that. Maybe that's what you see right at the end of training camp or something like, or at the start of the preseason with something like that. John
Osher, our guest, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Ryan Nielsen's rotation, his substitution, early on Saturday night was just incredible. I mean, you and I have been covering this league forever. I don't remember anything like this. I actually asked Doug about it, but your thoughts there and just how promising that has to be for what they believe they have as far as depth with that rotation.
Well, I think a couple of things. First of all, clearly it's what they want to do. Doug had talked about it. Ryan Nielsen believes in it. And what you were talking about was basically they played, their front 5, if you will, and then all of a sudden you look down and 5 guys were coming on, 5 guys are coming off. I think a couple of things. I think that's philosophically what they want to do. I think they're going to lean toward that. Are they going to do that every game where they, on second down, they pull 5 guys out? Probably not. But in this first preseason game, if you're Ryan Nielsen and Doug Peterson and you've been preaching this all off season, well, you do that the first play to show the players, hey, we believe in this.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, if they're playing a game, I don't know they're going to pull Josh Hines out and Trayvon out after the first play in every game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think philosophically, it's what they want to do. Every team rotates their defensive line. But I do think that this team is going to make a concerted effort to stay true to that more than a lot of teams do. A lot of teams talk about it, and then when push comes to shove, they play their guys, right? So I think this team wants to lean more in that direction. And I think it's why they signed the guys they have. It's why they brought in Trayvon. Eric Armstead, Trayvon Walker. It's why they tried to man the defensive front like that so they could play that way.
Ryan Thomas Jr. has really performed well as of late. He looks like a more confident wide receiver, and we've only seen him out there for 15 practices and in one game. The big ball he caught Saturday night from Beathard, and then the variety of passes he caught today against Tampa Bay, including the touchdown.
Yeah, he also caught one. Let's see, today's Wednesday. It was either Monday or Tuesday in practice where I'm not going to describe it very well, but he sort of went up over a defender and just made what you would think of as like an NFL catch, and there's sometimes rookies come in and they have to learn how to go get the ball against NFL defenders. They have to learn how to look comfortable. Brian Thomas didn't look comfortable early in camp, and you know me, Rick. I expect nothing out of rookies, but the way he's playing right now, he's starting to do things that make you think this guy looks more like a veteran who knows how to do some things than most rookies. So I've kind of gone from not expecting much out of him to thinking this guy might make some plays that matter. And I guess what I mean by this, sometimes with rookie receivers, they make big plays and they disappear.
Yeah.
And they have some numbers, but you knew they weren't really the guy the quarterback was going to in big moments. Brian Thomas is starting to look like a guy who might factor in the big moments more than a lot of rookie wide receivers. And if he does, and if you add Parker Washington being able to contribute a little bit to it, now all of a sudden you've got a deep receiver core where before I thought you had a good one.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And Parker Washington can play all three positions. He's had an outstanding camp. And with the three starters, you got to feel real good about that aspect of your offense. Running the ball, they have struggled. They struggled on Saturday night with the first team. They struggled again today running the football with their first team. What do you make of this?
Well, I got to fall back on what I always say. People get tired of hearing it. But the running game, it can just take time. And especially in the NFL, the GM told me once, you have to remember that if you're not scheming the run, it can be hard to run. And a lot of teams can't just line up and knock you off the ball. I don't think anybody would have thought that the Jaguars' interior line was going to line up and knock Vita Vea off the ball. Now, I'm not saying this is not a concern. I think it's something they have to watch. They have to improve at it. But considering you're still playing your first few live moments with Mitch Morse next to Ezra Cleveland, next to Brandon Sheriff, and it's really the interior I think has been struggling.
Yeah.
The tackles look like they're playing okay.
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, they must be better. But I keep going back to what Mitch Morse said last week, that, hey, you just don't hit enough to be good immediately as a power, short yardage, must-run type thing. So I'm going to fall back on that and assume that they're working toward it. But it's got to get better. It wasn't good last year, and in the brief thing we saw on Saturday, it wasn't good. So I guess we'll see.
John, leave us with this. I didn't get to spend really any time over there today. I focused on the one field with, primarily the Jaguars offense. What did you see, good or bad, from Jacksonville today defensively?
Well, I have to confess, I had a dead battery this morning. So I saw dealing with that defensively.
Oh, my.
So
oh, boy.
Today I was awash, and then I had to go over and do Dempsey's show. So I've heard Jaguars defensively from people I talked to who were at practice. I heard the corners held up pretty well against some good Bucs receivers, and that there was some good movement from Trayvon, from Josh Hines-Allen. I heard good things about the instinctive nature, sort of the things we saw early Saturday. I heard that was okay, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I saw it. I would love to lie to you. I lie to you often, but not on the air.
I appreciate the honesty. I thought I saw you out there today, but hey, this entire camp becomes a mirage. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
I hurried through after practice, Rick, but when I'm hurrying, I'm pretty quick.
Yeah.
You usually can't save me.
John, I'll see you tomorrow. Best of luck with your battery, and we wish you the very best.
I will be there tomorrow, Rick. Look forward to seeing you, buddy.
There he goes. Senior writer from Jaguars.com, John Osher. You should go right by to John's Auto. I mean, it's a John Osher driver, and I'm going to go with another driver off the deck. And I don't know, maybe a gap wedge. I got to head by there. I'm driving around today, and all of a sudden, I'm driving, and all of a sudden, I see StabiliTrak. And it's like popping in my face, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what does StabiliTrak mean? And I'm like, I got to get the car. I mean, I talk about Shemina Vision all the time. Okay, if something happens with your car, so you immediately get it fixed. You feel something in your arm, you feel something in your heart or your liver or your gallbladder or your tonsils or you have an appendectomy. I mean, you're like immediately you run to the doc, right? It's your eyes like, I'll put it off. But yeah, I'm going to have to go visit John's Auto out in Arlington. Figure out what's going on with these StabiliTrak. I don't know. I mean, it used to be great in the old days where you could just turn up the radio, right, and everything. Now all of a sudden these new vehicles, they tell you exactly what's wrong. I just don't know what it is.
Apparently it monitors road conditions and driver input and can detect when a wheel is slipping. It applies anti-lock brakes on that side of the vehicle and sends power to the non-slipping side to help correct the trajectory. You could do without that.
Tough it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little drift in action?
Maybe. But they're so good over there, they'll take care of it.
Absolutely.
It could lead to something else. It could be the gateway. It could be the gateway to major problems.
Listen, I took my car there like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and I was like constantly having issues. Dude, it's been running absolutely perfectly
they're
since
the best
then.
in town.
I agree.
No doubt about it. John's Auto, right in the city, Arlington Road. Okay, let's. My buddy Danny Van Sickle is going to stop by. Talk some Florida State Seminoles. With him, Paul Feinbaum with a scud yesterday. Everyone upset about that. I'm really not. I kind of like some negativity. I want some ruffled feathers. I don't want all this, tongue in the ear stuff. There's got to be a little bit of nonsense, and I think you have to flex and show that you can take care of that. But we'll get him in. We'll get you in as well. 641-1010. On the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. There's a new one-stop shop for all things Florida State. Subscribe to 1010XL Seminoles YouTube channel, up-to-the-minute updates, analysis, and more. Plant the spear and subscribe to 1010XL Seminoles channel today.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Hacker here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends, cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But you say, Hack, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing over 85 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping the first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it, and you'll be saying it too in just a few weeks. 20-pound summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 14, 2016, Jamaican sprint star Usain Bolt wins a 100-meter gold medal at the Rio Olympics, becoming the first man to win the event 3 times.
Get your athletes game day ready with Injury Care Centers. Kick off the upcoming sports season with their $69 Peak Performance Physical. It identifies strengths and weaknesses in muscles and body mechanics, tapping into the power of AI technology. Help your athlete run faster, throw harder, and jump higher at Injury Care Centers. Elevate their game from the inside out. Call Injury Care Centers today, 904-783-0008. That's 904-783-0008.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. And if your dream is to create that space where you're living large in your backyard, then you need to get with the good people at CSS. They put a gas log in our fireplace, an awesome fire pit out back where the kids can toast s'mores and we can just hang out and watch the game. It's all part of your outdoor living experience with CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Right now, they're on their way to ruin your day. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. And if you're not prepared, you will suffer. Yes, it's that time of the year. Heat and humidity are attacking North Florida. But help is at hand. Call Mike Merritt's Heating and Air Conditioning. Mike Merritt has a license to chill and lets you maintain your comfort zone at a bargain price. How? Mike Merritt stands ready to help, routine or emergencies. And Mike Merritt knows emergencies can happen at any time. So with Mike, there's never any overtime charges. And Mike's team works without commissions. Merritt will never try to sell you parts you don't need. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Call Mike Merritt, the company North Florida has trusted for 35 years. Call today. License number CAC 050384.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I'm going to talk with Jalen Johnson tomorrow. There's a guy right there that I think has a chance to make this team. I absolutely do. Okay, you've got the injury to Keelan Robinson, the undrafted free agent out of Villanova, has really done some nice things. Again, he's way down on the depth chart. He's probably fourth right now, but he still has made a lot of plays. So looking forward to meeting him tomorrow after day 2 with the Bucs, and that'll be day 17 overall. Off Friday, then, of course, Saturday night preseason game, number 2 against the Buccaneers. Look who we have here. My goodness, he dropped by before his trip to Dublin City, Ireland. It's our good friend Danny Van Sickle. How fired up are you?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to do this. I've never been outside North America, so it's a
an amazing trip that's been planned. Been looking forward to it and ready to get it on.
Now, is it you and the wife, or you and you and some buddies? What's going on?
It's me and my oldest son.
Oh wow,
me and my oldest son. So it's he's been doing all the apps, and he lined us up with some things to do when we get out there. Go to the cliffs, go to the straits.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna on another day we're gonna do a big Guinness warehouse tour.
Ooh, yeah.
And so He's jacked about it. I've kind of let him, handle all the excursion part of it, and I took care of the game and the game day experience, and it's we're ready to go, man.
What do you believe? I mean, Georgia Tech's got a really good offense. They have a quarterback that's a dual threat. They have 1,000-yard back. I mean, you look at it, and the assumption is Florida State shows up, they win. Any concern?
Absolutely. It's week 0. You know, you don't know what you're getting when you get out there. All you have to go off of is what you've seen at camp. What you've seen at the practices. Georgia Tech, they didn't set the world on fire last year, but I think they have a solid head coach. I don't know if he's great or not, but they got a solid head coach. They seem to have momentum behind them. They've gotten some great recruits here recently.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why they weren't bigger than what they were when you look at where they're located.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're located in the middle of a major metropolitan area like Atlanta. Like, you can understand why Boston College is not a big, rabid fan base, even though it's in the middle of Boston, because that's a pro town.
Right.
They're all about pro sports up there. But obviously, Atlanta being in the South, being less than an hour away from the University of Georgia, there's a rabid fan base, and they just need something to cheer about.
Yeah. They've always been a smart school. They've always had smart players. There's been, years where they've hurt teams in the ACC, including Florida State, with a lot of misdirection, a lot of things where, players are trusting their instincts, and instead of reading their keys and staying at home, they'll over-pursue. That happened an awful lot with Paul Johnson when he ran things at Georgia Tech. But there are some similarities. You got to play smart in order to beat the Rambling Wreck.
Yeah, and I don't think that as good as Florida State has gotten and the level they've gotten to now, they're still not at the place where they can just roll the ball out there and win. It's just not, right? If this was Ohio State, if this was Michigan, if this was Georgia, if this was Alabama, you would feel pretty good. You just go out there, do what you need to do. No, they're going to need to go out there and execute. They're going to need to do all the things that the coaches have taught them to do. For all the negative of the end of last year, the snub and everything else, the one thing you do hope is that maybe there's some motivation there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times do coaches always paint themselves as the underdog? Kirby Smart paints his team as the underdog for the last 5 years. They've been the most dominant team. And you know what? Those kids still believe they are the underdog most of the time, and they play like it, and they end up winning games. So it kind of made that part a little easier on Norvell, because all he has to look at is say, hey, these people don't respect you. Y'all went undefeated last year. They showed you no love, no respect. Let's go out there and prove them wrong.
Yeah, I thought Lou Holtz was the all-time best at playing that role, regardless of who the opponent was. That's why I was a fan of yesterday's comments by Paul Feinbaum. I know it upset Seminole Nation, but I feel like 10 days out, why not a little rub? Why not find a way to – they're hot. They've been in camp. They're tired. Why not find a way to – get on them a little bit and maybe provide a little something extra?
You know what's so amazing about Paul Feinbaum, and also the fact, if you look at all the media days for the different conferences over the last month, for a team that doesn't bring a lot of value to places, man, they've gotten talked about more at other people's media days than their own media day.
Right.
And the fact that here we are 7 months later, Paul Feinbaum, Mr. SEC, still finds time to talk about Florida State University. We have a little thing that we do when you get like a little Twitter war. It's called a rent-free. And all you got to do is say those 2 words, rent-free, and everybody knows what that means. Yeah, we live rent-free in that dude's head. We know we do. The last thing he wants is Florida State to go into that conference, because whenever they are competitive in that conference, it's going to dispel all the myths he's at. I don't think he's liked us ever since we beat Auburn in 2014. And he don't even like Auburn, but I think he loves the SEC so much he just hated seeing us beating them.
Well, I think you're exactly right about that. After that point, I think he lost it, and Auburn, of course, had that big lead at the Rose Bowl, and Florida State came back, and Benjamin caught that pass from Jameis Winston. I saw him last week practice twice. I think this year's Florida State defense can actually be better than last year's.
Yes, I think they have more depth than last year's. I mean, they had stars. Obviously, you look at where the players got drafted at between Fisk and Burst and the other players. They look really good. But man, I think that it's taken a while. Those first couple years, they were rough. It was a rough road for Mike Norvell to go down with the COVID, not being able to recruit. Had some real big recruiting misses too. Players that led them all along the way and then lost them at the last minute. So it's taken them a while to get to the point where they have good depth. Obviously, the transfer portal is changed the game. Like, it's changed everything. You don't have to go as long to build that depth. You can go out and get it. But I think also now that it's kind of starting to the market kind of readjust itself, I think people realize now you can't just transfer your portal your way out of stuff. Like, you're going to have to get good recruits. You just don't have to have as many as you had maybe 10 years ago, but you're still going to need to build from within, get those recruits in. I think now you're starting to see some of the fruits bear out.
Danny Van Sickle with us, Electrical Training Alliance, their new school getting set to get underway. We're going to talk about that in just one moment, but he's getting ready to head to Dublin for Florida State and Georgia Tech. Also, before you do that, Game 2 with the Jaguars will be Saturday night against the Bucs. What do you think about their opener with Kansas City?
When I was watching the game, one of the main things I wanted to look at was the offensive line. It looked like to me they really got pushed around. If you look at the last 6 to 8 games last year, they had a historic collapse right there at the end. I mean, they had the playoffs sewn up, and it just looked like they couldn't get just any kind of movement. They couldn't impose their will at all. Jaguars made some good offseason additions. It's the preseason, so I don't know how much you're going to take out of watching an offensive line in the preseason. But that was one of the things that I looked at. Obviously, I wanted to see the skill positions. I want to see if they had the speed. I want to see how Christian Kirk looked out there. I really wanted to watch Trevor because he hasn't had this kind of feeling since he first got here. Like, when he got here, he knew what his future was going to be. Well, in the last year or two, he's looking at all these quarterbacks getting all this massive money.
Right.
Jacksonville does have a reputation for maybe not paying its players. So you can't tell me, he's human. You can't tell me that last year it didn't creep in his mind just a little bit. Is this really where I'm going to end up at? Are they really going to pay me to be here? And I think you've seen what the Jaguar ownership of they made the long-term commitment. If you look at the number itself, it looks like a sticker shock number. But when you look at it to comparable quarterbacks around the league, it's not. And if you look at that number, probably 2 or 3 years, I think you're going to be amazed. It's going to be lower than what a lot of people are going to think, because now with the amount of money that's coming in between TV contracts and how important the quarterback position is, you're going to start seeing a lot more of these ridiculous quarterback contracts come. And as much as I hate to say it, it's going to look like we almost got him at a bargain.
Do you hope that is the case, that it looks like a bargain? He plays that well, and this franchise is winning so many games that actually comes into fruition. I don't believe I've talked to you on air about this. You're a lifer here in Jacksonville. Your buddies, what have you, they got the stadium. It's going to pass in October. The stadium deal is done. You never have to hear about any of that nonsense again.
Yeah, that was a big get for us. Number one, you're looking at a $1.2 billion project. We haven't had that kind of project here in over 20 years. Back when they had the what was in the Better Jacksonville plan, they built the ViStar Arena. They've built Bragan Field. When you look at the amount of jobs that's going to bring into this town, and I'm also very proud of the fact that I was able to speak to City Council when they had open meetings.
Yeah.
And we spoke to them about the importance of having apprenticeship language in there. We knew that having apprenticeship language somewhere in there would help out in having local contractors do that work, because that's going to be a lot of work. We don't need people from Tampa, Orlando, and Miami coming up here and doing it. We need local people who live here, pay into the tax base, whose kids go to school here, to be on that job. And it's not just the stadium itself. It's the graduate hospital they're talking about opening next door to it. Four Seasons already going up across the street to it. There's going to be a lot of revitalization in that area of town. That's going to be a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of community benefit to this thing going up.
Give us the latest. What's going on at the Electrical Training Alliance?
So we just took in our fall class. We took in 100 apprentices, which is amazing.
Very cool.
Just saying, kind of put that into context. When I got in this apprenticeship, they took in 20. And now we're taking in 100. And back then, we only took apprentices once a year. Now we take in apprentices twice a year. So this past January, we took in 60 apprentices. So we've taken in 160 apprentices in the last 7 months. And there's a reason for that. Our contractors should tell us that there is a lot of work that they have now and even more that's coming. And it's up to us at the apprenticeship to have that labor force ready to go to man these works.
Let our listeners know whether they're looking for a career change, whether they're getting ready, just graduated from high school, school starting up again. They don't know what to do. What is the best way to contact you and tell them, what a future looks like being an electrician?
Best thing to do is go to the website, etajax.org. You can go there. You can apply from there. You can look at videos from us. You can look at pictures from there. You can see all the job descriptions. You can learn a lot about us from just going to that website. And what you can expect is our next deadline will be in November for the January class. So, check us out, look at what we do. And if something that you want to, maybe make a career change if you already have a career, or maybe you just got out of high school, or maybe you're going to do some college and you're not quite sure where you're going to go with your life. We get a lot of students that are right out of high school. We get people in their 40s and in their 50s that want to make a career change, have great years ahead of them, and they know that we have great health benefits and pension benefits that come along with us. So it isn't just for the ones coming out of high school. It's for everybody. And if you want to have a better quality of life, you want to learn a career that you can make really good money at, go to etajax.org.
Best part, it didn't cost you anything outside of a few books.
The only thing it costs is the books and the course fees. There is no tuition to go to our school.
That is outstanding. Once again, the best way to get a hold of you.
Go to etajax.org.
Have a blast in Dublin. I'll see you soon.
Plan on it. Thank you, buddy.
There he goes. Danny Van Sickle with the Electrical Training Alliance. All right, when I come back, let's get to some of these texts, man. I got a ton in. I tell you, even on YouTube here, it says the O-line can't run block. Oh, I thought they said that they couldn't block me. That's what someone said on the text line, but that's not accurate. It says the O-line can't run block Ballou or run block Ballou. So someone read it wrong and almost made me read it wrong. Nonetheless, yes, that is my biggest concern right now with the Jaguars. So let's grab some of yours on the other side with you tonight till 8. Then it's Hacker.
My think tank now has a little something in the pipeline. It's an idea we like to call
1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it. Best price, we can wiggle it. Best trade value, we can wiggle it. Best payment, we can wiggle it. Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, with 8 American brands, we can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or online at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
The water heater's broken, disposal doesn't work. Toilet's overflowing, the wife's going berserk. There's water all around me, the faucet sprung a leak. The only way to fix it is to call on Roland Reich, 'cause I got the blues, yeah. For all your plumbing needs, call on the Bold City's best, Roland Reich Plumbing, and lose the bad plumbing blues. I got the blues, yeah.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
I'm Hacker, and Denny Thompson and I will navigate you through the Florida football offseason during the Gator Bites podcast, presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. New episodes drop every Friday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T. And are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using MyBookie Sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime. anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just sign up at mybookie.com and you're ready to rock. Whether you're rooting for your alma mater or your favorite team, there's no better way to experience this season than having action on the game. And when you know your team well, it's an easy way to take advantage of procs like team win totals and early picks for playoff contention. Last year, MyBookie had some of the best odds on the market for the Wolverines to win the championship. And Michigan bettors who backed their squad saw 10 times the return on their wager. Lock your futures in now while you're waiting for the season to begin and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
David Ammon here with Zero Res. So Ammon, your mom mentioned it's been a year since we did a complete house cleaning. The kitchen tile and living room floors are looking pretty dingy. It's time to call Zero Res.
That's right. Most folks know that Zero Res does an amazing job at cleaning their carpets and rugs, but they don't know that Zero Res can clean their tile and grout, LVP, and wood floors.
And right now, Zero Res is offering 25% off all hard floor cleaning. Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
C-E-R-O.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home all week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is Buy Star Good as Everywhere Wednesday featuring the Feerick Foundation. Tomorrow is Coors Light Thirsty Thursday with beer specials. Then we've got a doubleheader on Red Shirt Friday with fireworks presented by Boeing. The week closes out with Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets.
Family owned and managed for 20 years, Hidden Hills Golf Club boasts a unique and welcoming golfing atmosphere. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to book your next round on our Arnold Palmer signature course. You'll be glad you did.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332. Go to flyskylife.com and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
They say to make yourself indispensable at work, so I developed a digital catering solution that only I can operate. Okay, it's actually easycater.com.
David!
They love me, because I, the director of catering logistics, not a real job, use EasyCater to get catering from all our favorite restaurants. Tight budget? No problem. Need vegetarian options? Gluten-free? Check and check.
D-Man, you crushed lunch today.
It was easy. EasyCater.
EasyCater is your all-in-one tech platform for ordering food for work. Start your order at easycater.com.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to shinatridc.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, let me start with the best news. No reported injuries today. Christian Kirk didn't go. We don't know what that was. We'll find out tomorrow morning with Doug Peterson. Also the return of Foye Oluokun, who's been dealing with a tight hamstring. Overall, good day. Taking on Tampa Bay. Some good, including Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington, Tank Bigsby, Trevor Lawrence. Thought the offense was effective, and then you understand that when you're not going live on the quarterback, according to John Shipley, there could have been 7 sacks. So that is alarming. They just struggled to run the football. I talk about it all the time. 25% of their carries last year, they were caught at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. John Shipley said 7 runs today by Travis Etienne went 2 yards or less. And, they couldn't run the ball on Saturday night. What was it, 4 carries for ETN for like 3 yards. Let me see. Yeah, 4 carries, 3 yards for ETN on Saturday night. So I would just put him in bubble wrap. I wouldn't let him take any more hits. I'm sure they're thinking, well, we got to figure this out. I'd like to see Tank get some opportunities with the first-team offense. It's not a knock on Travis Etienne at all. The man can play, and he's going to be their primary ball carrier. He also proved how valuable he was last year catching the ball, proved that on Saturday night catching the ball. But I would give Tank an opportunity. Offensive line, every team has a concern. There's no doubt that is Jacksonville's concern. And I'm not saying they can't fix it. Yeah, I haven't given up on Mitch Morse. He's a 9-year veteran. He's a savvy guy. You don't hang around this league unless you're able to do some good things. The interior offensive line right now looks like if this was a supermodel, it's a big wart right on the forehead. That would be the way I would describe it. So hopefully things will get better as early as tomorrow. I thought Anton Harrison looked really good on one-on-ones. And, I think he's ahead with his pass blocking than he is with his rush, his run blocking. 99-82, not good, but who's the offensive lineman who got his ass kicked on the touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr. That was called back. I believe that was Ezra Cleveland. And they were basically all guilty. Just about all of them. Today. So, we'll see. 31-44, Bull. I play Edmonds over Antonio Johnson right now. Not so fast with that. I still think Antonio Johnson is thinking a little bit too much. Does that make any sense? Instead of just playing football, trusting his instincts. Again, this guy is beyond raw. 176 snaps last year, a 5th-round draft pick. He played almost all of them at nickel. Now you're asking him to be a safety under a totally new defensive scheme. If I sound like I'm making excuses for Antonio Johnson, so be it. It's too early to give up there. I do think Terrell Edmonds is a guy who's come on. I think he's got an opportunity to make this team. I'm concerned about the depth. Gibson's going to be out 6 weeks. I don't know if Amos is a guy they can rely on, even when healthy. I've always given you my opinion on Wingard and Daniel Thomas. I think they're really good special team players. I think Wingard's really good against a team that's running the ball. I don't want him out there in coverage. That's a long-term one. This and that. Much more on the offensive line. 96-94. The O-line blew upon the table. It's a shame they haven't built the O-line to protect the Prince. Well, you got to draft there, and you got to keep drafting. One draft pick has certainly worked, and that is Anton Harrison. Cam Robinson was drafted. That was a different regime. All right, he continues to be around here. It didn't work with Walker Little. He's been all over the place, right? It didn't work. I can't even think of who was the guy who drank the milkshakes. It didn't work with Ben Barch. You've got to draft at least one, if not 2 offensive linemen every single year. I keep hearing people talking about Cooper Hodges. Put Cooper Hodges in, who I don't know if he's I would envision him being a future left guard, even though you keep hearing that possibly he goes to right guard to replace Brandon Sheriff. He's a 7th-round guy who's never played and was already hurt earlier this year in camp, where there's so much promise. I don't know if in fact that is realistic for really anyone to consider at this point. Javon Foster is another guy, very young. Maybe in a year, Cooper Hodges is a starter at guard. Maybe in a year or 2 years, Javon Foster is a starter at tackle. I don't know. Or they could flame. But, yeah, that right now they have invested in 2 free agents and a trade. Traded for Ezra Cleveland, brought him back, spent money on Brandon Sheriff, spent money on Mitch Morse. We'll see if it ends up working out.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
All right, Hack, what did you see out there this afternoon?
You know, it's interesting. I was looking at some Tampa media and some of the stories they got coming out about the joint practice today, and they're very critical of the Buccaneers. They seem like Jacksonville won the day. I think Jacksonville had a very good day. I think Trevor Lawrence looked sharp. There were a lot of really good individual performances. But I had some concerns with the Tampa D-line versus the Jacksonville offensive line. I think some of the good plays Trevor made would never have happened in the months of September, October, November, and December because he would have been on his back.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't touch the quarterback in a joint practice. So, look, the receivers made plays, made catches, got separation. That was all good. The offensive line, I don't think won today versus the Tampa D-line.
Yeah. Thought Anton Harrison was really good on one-on-ones. Cam Robinson good on one-on-ones, but it just didn't seem to work out in team play. They can't run the ball.
No, that's a concern, obviously.
First team can't run the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Tank Bigsby and Dearness Johnson and the backups got in there were fine against Kansas City. That was issues with that last year. Now, last week, Ezra Cleveland and you mentioned Anton Harrison both did not play. I don't know how much that would mean, but yeah, I mean, clearly, if they can't run the ball, that's going to be a big, big issue, and they got to figure that out, and they got to figure that out pretty quick.
All right, what's coming up?
Oh, a lot. We got Ventrell Miller. It's our training camp one-on-one. Boy, Ventrell Miller, one of my favorite interviews on the team. I know you've talked to him. Boy, what an engaging guy.
Yeah.
He's loud, man. He'll give you his thoughts. He's gonna talk pretty loudly. So we're looking forward to airing that conversation. And then in studio, coming up at 8:30, Reggie Hayward.
Nice.
Kind of a cool story. So there's four former Jaguars from the 2007 playoff team, the team that beat Pittsburgh. They're on the coaching staff at Providence, and they all have kids that are on that roster.
Greg Jones, I ran into him last week.
Greg Jones? Okay, so Greg Jones is one. Mo Williams is the head coach. So that's kind of a cool story.
I think it's Greg Jones. I forgot. I talked last week, but it was 100 degrees out at the Florida State practice at UNF. He went to speak to him.
Okay, yeah.
I think it is Greg.
Yeah, because I know it's Reggie Hayward and Mo Williams, so we're going to have Reggie in to talk about that. It's high school football. The Kickoff Classics kick off Friday night. Wow. Regular season opens a week from Friday.
Unbelievable. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us. Appreciate everyone being with us. I didn't get a chance to get to all of you tonight. I had so many texts come in. I appreciate it. I never check it now if the show is over. You can always get me on Twitter or X, Ballou1010XL. Thank you to John Osher, Danny Van Sickle. Thank you to Jordan Jefferson for joining us. The Jaguars' fourth-round draft selection and defensive lineman. JJ LaSelva produced it. I will talk with you tomorrow. Jaguars Day 2 against Tampa Bay. I'll be back at 6 o'clock on Thursday night. We'll talk about everything that did happen over at the Miller Electric Center. Have a great night.
A cop and good at his job. Now he prowls the Badlands.